Other interesting culture news, you have New York Park going viral for Muslim prayers on loudspeakers. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Endwokeness, in which he says, quote, Tehran? Nope, Brooklyn, New York. And, well, I was going to say with the YouTube, they'll probably take out the music, but you might hear it on the Rumble or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or Spotify as I call it because it's funnier. Anywhere you can hear the topping show. See, well, I don't know, it might be a community notes. It says Brooklyn, New York. I've yet to see Captain America or Spider-Man yet. Though there are men in disguises. They have fireworks at the church there? Or their prayer segment?
What the fuck is this?
I mean, I heard their culture is explosive. I didn't think it was, you know. And you got bowl machines, look at that. I mean, they're already doing better advertisements than the Catholic Church. I mean, it's got explosions and bubbles. Just saying. Just this dude biking away finally. A lot of gals in the hijab. And yeah, that bike ride got 5.7 million views and 77,000 likes. Which, he said Tehran, no Brooklyn, New York. I was actually going to guess Minneapolis, Minnesota, with with Omar's community, representing Elon Omar. Elon, can't pronounce your name; it's weird. Although I don't have much ground to stand on, my name's Topping. But nevertheless, Gunther Eagleman's the first commenter coming in saying, "quote It's about to get worse." Getting 1.3 thousand likes. With again, Mr. Zohan is now the primary, or he's going to be leading the DNC. He's going to be the one that people vote for coming in November. With again, he's on the Democratic ticket as mayoral candidate, with Democrats outnumbering Republicans 2-1 in New York. I can't help but think, yeah, guy has a high propensity of winning. Very concerning because he's a socialist who is promulgated many times. He wants to ban firearms as well. Now, the Gas Stove, our favorite contrarian account, says, quote, so glad to see this. That's why New York City is one of the most diverse cities in the world. More immigration, please. Getting 172 likes, as well as 53 comments. And he said, Mavis says, you must be a male. Females are in trouble, getting 16 likes. Which is kind of ironic the way women vote in terms of, they say they don't want to be oppressed. They want to be basically naked in public and have all their rights. But they're promulgating and importing people who have the antithesis of those belief systems. Kind of ironic. Now, Paul Zupa says, quote, New York City is already conquered. Sad, getting 387 likes. Based Electrician says, quote, just when we thought we solved the issue of men wearing dresses. And I do forget the ceremonial, it's not technically, well, it looks like a dress, but I forget the ceremonial clothing that they wear in that religion. Getting 29 likes. Nico simply says, quote, another example of the diversity that makes America great. It's only going to get better. American flag and cool sunglasses guy emoji. Getting 1.4 thousand likes. Brave Little Taco, though it's actually not a picture of a taco, or an advertisement from Taco Bell, says, quote, put down your crack pipe and remove your rose-colored glasses and Google September 11th. Getting 59 likes, which I remember having a Tower 7, I forgot. That was the first time we had a $2 trillion deficit in the U.S., fiscally speaking. We were investigating that, and that building in which we were investigating just blew up. We were told to hit by a plane. I'm sure it was. Nevertheless, next topic. L.E. Man says, quote, notice how everyone is cool and just hanging around, minding their own business. If you see this and have a problem, you are the problem. Getting 4.2 thousand likes. And I think then wokeness is getting, as youth might say, ratioed. Now, again, it is interesting. I actually was surprised they say it's New York. Because, I mean, most shitties, or shitties as I call them, or some people call them cities, usually have a lot of trash, lawlessness, and, well, overall just hell. And again, if you look at all these folks over here, they've got it roped off, not roped off, it's got the fancy caution tape, which I guess is cheaper than roping off a section at the park. And again, there's no crazy violence. No one's beating each other up. Now, I almost wonder if the video is doctored. There's no homeless people there. That's like half the population of New York, I thought. I think a lot of people are concerned because, again, a lot of the ideals of this religion are the antithesis of what the founding fathers wanted. You also have King of Poles saying, quote, "This is the Eid prayer. What else do you expect from these? What else do you expect to see besides Muslims? Is no different from visiting a church on Christmas or a synagogue during Yom Kippur. You'll most likely see Christians and Jews and even Muslim majority countries. Stop the cheap propaganda. At least put some effort into it and try something clever if you're going to brainwash your audience." Gained 2.7 thousand likes. They're not ratioed. Let's see. Linda Schwartzer says, quote, sorry, or responding to that, Linda Schwartzer says, quote, "Sorry we don't take over parks by the thousands and pray we use churches," getting 35 likes. The Edson Zero says, quote, "They're blasting their prayers outdoors, forcing everyone to listen," getting 246 likes. Rachel Rising says, quote, "I'm supportive of religion, but not invading our streets. The Constitution is the law of the land and not Sharia law with mega mosques. Take the prayers there," getting 281 likes. See here. Which again, I'm guessing they had a permit for the park. Depending on your city's policies, you can reserve parts of the park and times of the park for nearly any legal activity, which again, this is obviously a legal activity. Mirthful Moments also says America is not a Muslim nation, it's a Christian nation. Islam is not compatible with America's values. Gained 207 likes. And again, also the Catholic Church sucks at marketing. I haven't seen a single Facebook ad. I mention that term at least once a day on average. Mirthful Moments also has a picture of a gal in hijab, not hijab. I forget this. There's a difference in vernacular for the scarf. I'm obviously not good at fashion, though I do suit up every day. The same suit for 624 episodes. Perfection. Buy once, cry once. Now, she says, or the maid says, quote, "Hates Jews, Christians, atheists, gays, dogs, bacon, wine, beer, your civilization, your culture, your traditions, your country, and you. Complains about Islamophobia," getting 874 likes. Agent X says, quote, "Imagine if there were 10,000 Catholics, 10,000 Catholics. Democrats would then claim it's a KKK rally," getting 1.5 thousand likes. Make America Great Again, very specific profile name, says, quote, "Democrats turned Brooklyn into a foreign outpost," getting 322 likes, which, again, for 100 years, the immigration, or rather the foreign-born rate of the population of New York and New York City, it's been about the same. It's fluctuated a couple percentage points. And I think the major differences we've seen throughout the past 100 years is the rate of assimilation or lack thereof. And it's not just with that religion. You also see other people coming from other countries and continuing to fly their flags, even though they escape those countries. With more recently, a lot of people waving the Mexican flag, or Mexico's flag, and protesting the deportations. When, again, if you are flying the Mexican flag, you're very proud of the country, it's quite easy to go there. We'll actually pay you to do that, and yet they're complaining and crying while leaving America. You also have Just a Dude saying, quote, it's happening. There's a picture of a donkey, and then there's a picture of a camel. It says, "The transformation of the Democrat Party since 2009. And before Obama, as Trump would say, it's a picture of a donkey. And then after Obama is a camel. And it says, "Islamocrats," getting 439 likes, which you have definitely seen a shift in the Democrat Party in terms of the populace of it. I mean, I don't know a single true Catholic or Christian who would ever nowadays be affiliated with the modern Democrat Party. Again, the Democrat Party was very much different in the 90s era. And I mean, again, now they're one of the biggest issues politically and traditionally and culturally and spiritually is abortion. Where again, even in the 90s, Democrats were really, kind of queasy about it. I mean, famously, Bill Clinton said it should be safe, legal, and rare. That was kind of the standard. It was of the opinion that it was still morally not a good thing. And nowadays, Democrats brag about it so much, they had an abortion mobile outside the DNC convention. It is a point of pride for them now, and they are actually videos of Democrats bragging about abortion. So a lot of my friends who are faith-based, who were former Democrats, they actually shifted to more Republican. And even a lot of people would argue a lot of modern Republicans are just 90s Democrats. But yeah, in terms of the consistency who makes up the Democrat Party, I believe that is a big shift in terms of the religious affiliation of that party past couple of years. That's definitely shifted around. You also have Betsy Ross saying, quote, "While New Yorkers absolutely deserve this country does not. Pray we can prevent New York City from becoming Archie West," getting 874 likes. I laughed at this new meme. This is credited to someone by the name of God and Country saying, quote, "New York has fallen." And it's the Statue of Liberty was covered up her face and is carrying the Quran, getting 297 likes. Scrolling down more and more. blue collar American. I didn't even know this is emoji, but it's the emoji of a detective. It says Muslims living in a Christian country, and it's Muslims dressed up. And it has a juxtaposition of a picture, and it says Christians in a Muslim country, and they're being executed. Getting 395 likes. Ayolu, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, has a meme of a man with a noose. He is labeled liberals, and he is watering a tree named Islam, and the rope is attached to the tree. Getting 924 likes. Going down more and more, you have Captive Dreamers says, quote, this is what the Democrats want in every small town of America too. Gained 487 likes. Let's see. David Sullivan's back in the comments. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, actually. This is, again, David Sullivan. Pronouns. I'll actually respect his pronouns. His pronouns are prosecute Fauci, which he says, quote, New York is not safe for Americans. Maintain your Second Amendment and exercise your rights. And there's a picture of a gal. It said she has a t-shirt saying women for Trump, and she has a pistol in her jeans. It says, quote, gun facts they don't tell you about. 550 sexual abuses are prevented every day by showing a gun. 1,100 murders are prevented every day by showing a gun. Law-abiding citizens use guns over 2 million times a year to protect themselves. And that got 224 likes. Western Decline says, quote, is Iran the only reason why Western countries are being invaded? We need to prioritize younger generations to have children. Best way to do this is by lowering the cost of living. We shouldn't rely on legal or illegal immigration for economic growth, getting 140 likes. Wall Street Apes also says the hard solution is to literally just deport all of them. There really is no other alternative, getting 2.1 thousand likes. I'd say about maybe 50-50 split in terms of, for or against this post by Endwokeness. And I definitely think in terms of, the foundation of our country and our founding fathers, ideals, and our morals and values of a nation, I do believe we still are very much a Christian nation. I believe that's for the best, but that's just my 3 cents. It used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation gotta be 3 cents. And as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments because I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.